Hello there, fabulous people. Jen here from Science to Soul Tarot. This is my second video for today, and I wasn't planning on doing this one. So earlier today, I recorded and uploaded my VR to Kelly Bear's top 5 decks that I can't live without, and that was heaps of fun. But since then, something has happened in my world, and I kind of wanted to put it to you guys out there as a little bit of a challenge. So I am going to do this as a hashtag, and I'm going to do this as hashtag Brave and Vulnerable Challenge. So as you know, if you've watched mainly kind of my first initial videos that I did, being a psychologist in my other life, the whole concept around tarot reading, my interest in the tarot, and all things that go with that has kind of been like my dirty little secret. Now, I even run a Facebook group that I've talked about, which is more in alignment with my spiritual therapy and my spiritual coaching. And in there, it's about just giving, having little chats, giving bits and pieces of tips, ultimately around people finding their life purpose, connecting back to their soul, the core of who they are. And I delve into things like quantum physics type stuff in there. But even within that group, even though it's more spiritually aligned versus psychology based, they overlap a lot. Even in there, it has still remained my dirty little secret, as I call it. And in total, I actually only have 2 friends / colleagues who know that I have an interest in the tarot. And outside of my kind of immediate family, there aren't other people who know about this, you know. I mean, there's the occasional other person, but in a sense of people I'm close to, family-wise, and certainly colleague-wise, it's kept to a bare minimum of people, to say the least. And I was sitting this morning enjoying a cup of coffee, goodness knows what number coffee it was for the day, and just all of a sudden had this, I don't know, this light bulb moment of going, what the F, Jen? Like, your whole setup in your Facebook group is about trying to get people to be soul connected, to come home to themselves, to connect to higher consciousness, and to live out their true passion, their true purpose, live by the things that energize them and lift them up, and being unapologetic about bloody well doing that. Yet here I am, not talking in any of my other groups other than here on Facebook about the meaning of tarot in my daily spiritual practice. And for me, it is part of my daily spiritual practice, yet I've kept it hidden, and I've kept it hidden out of fear. Fear of judgment, very much so. What will these other people say? There are some colleagues who are in this group. There are some colleagues in this group who I'm currently collaborating with on other work. And yeah, there's a big fear around, what will these people think of me? What will they say? And to the point of, if someone wanted to report me, the Psychology Board of Australia can literally walk in and decide that because this is not a scientifically evidence-based practice, yet I'm still using it. I'm not using it with my psychology clients, so I'm not breaking any boundaries there, but they can come in and basically say, you either stop, or if you continue, we will take your registration off you. All right, so that's at the worst case scenario level, but it's still a real case scenario level. But today it just all clicked to me. Like, I am not being my true self and practicing. I mean, I practice everything I preach in this group, aside from this one main huge thing of keeping this private. And look, I'm not saying we have to go and put everything out there into the world that we're doing. I'm not saying we have to share our spiritual practices with everyone. I mean, there's still much about what I do and much about my life that is still private, because other people don't need to know about it. But when it comes to me teaching people to break out of their vulnerability, teaching people to be brave in their life, teaching people to align to their true core soul self, you know, and get in touch with their soul purpose and live out their soul purpose, I wasn't practicing what I preached in this one area, which is a big area of my life. So I'd already done a live into that group this morning, and this happened after having done that. Well, no, actually it happened before doing it, but I had to do the first live first. And I did warn people that I would be back in the group. And so probably an hour later, I went back into that group. And I told people my dirty little secret. And I told it to the point of giving people the option that if they are into this, if they like this, if they want to know more about this, then I will even include like either a weekly card pull for the group and pop its meaning up. I could do it daily, or I can do like the occasional live in the group and actually pull a card for people who are in there and so desire to have one pulled. And I was so nervous going into this. And if I step back and I think about it now, after it's now out there in this group, it's a closed group, but that still doesn't mean anything. It means I can kick people out a lot easier if I don't like what they have to say, and that's fine. If I sit back and think about it now, I'm still nervous. I mean, it's sort of the middle of the day here. Actually, I've got no idea what time it is. It's 2:30 here. So, you know, the majority of people in the group who are in Australia are still, you know, at work, or they're just about to go collect their kids from school, that kind of thing. And there are people in the group from all over the world. So some of those people are, you know, probably sleeping right now. So there's still an element of fear in what's going to come back. What are people going to think of me? And it's not so much the people I don't know either. I've said it in other videos. I have no issue that if someone's being a dick, if someone's being rude or horrible, I have no issue of just wiping them, like cutting them out. I've done it in this group before. Someone was just being a pain in the butt with the crap they were posting. There was no forewarning. It was just, nope, that's it, not going to tolerate it, and you're out. So with people I don't know, I can do that, and that's fine. But I have colleagues who are a part of this group. Like I said, I have colleagues I'm currently collaborating with to do group programs and stuff. And there's a fear of, oh God, what if they think I'm totally crackers and don't want to do the collaboration anymore? And before going live into that group and doing it, I was so anxious. And I can sit back now and get all worked up about it. There's no point though, because it's not going to do anything by me worrying about it. I'll deal with it as it comes. People are either going to resonate with it or going to be assholes about it, and I'll just deal with whatever pops up in the meantime. But the reason I wanted to put a challenge to you guys, so it's not about me getting on here and gloating. The reason I really wanted to put it to you guys as a challenge and do a hashtag around this was because when I hit the finish button in my Facebook group, when I'd done that live, I hit finish, I hit upload, I was just filled with this huge sense of freedom, of a combination of so many emotions. I was excited because it really set me free, because it meant that this element of myself that is so true to the person I am was finally now out there. Now, no, I'm not going to go talking about this in my psychology groups. When it comes to that, it's not about not being true, but it's basically about, I think there are things people don't need to always know in certain circles of our life. There are people that we can and should be vulnerable with, and there are people that we shouldn't waste our vulnerability on. So I don't see that as being critical, because there's no need for me to be vulnerable in these other psychology groups I'm a part of. It wouldn't do me any good, and it wouldn't do anyone else any good. Whereas in this group that I run, specifically to get people to get aligned with their soul purpose, to get in touch with their spirituality, to get themselves to the next level when it comes to their everyday life, it was bloody important. And that hitting the upload button, the putting it out there, just felt freeing to me. And like I said, I can sit here now, I can get caught up in it. I can sit around just waiting for what the comment will be. You know, I even put a poll in the group as to what people want, based on having listened to the live. There's still the element of, what if no one responds to the poll? Who cares? I'll take it down. It doesn't matter. So I could get caught up in all of that if I want to. But I'm going to choose to focus on the fact that it felt free to step up, to be vulnerable, very much on a platform where I could get my ass ripped across the coals for it, so to speak. And that's okay, because if the psychology board ever came in and said, choose, you either be a psychologist or you be a spiritual therapist and coach, I will hand them back their resignation. Not their resignation, I will hand them back my certification and my registration. And I would choose the spiritual therapy and the spiritual coaching. And I'm very content with that decision. I'm not saying it wouldn't cause some turmoil, but I'm content with that. But it still means that trouble could brew because of it. But having done this, having been vulnerable, having been brave, was such an exciting thing. Now, I know you guys have all done this at different times in your life. I've done this before at different times in my life. So it's not like it's a new concept. But I wanted to put the challenge out there to you guys and do it as a hashtag to really get you to start thinking, is there something? And it doesn't have to be what other people would consider a big thing, you know? But it can just be something that to you is shit scary and makes you really vulnerable and means you require a level of courage and bravery to go forth and do whatever that thing is. But I wanted you guys to start really thinking about, is there something that you've wanted to do, say, take on in your life, try out, whatever it is, that involves a level of vulnerability, that involves a level of stepping out of your comfort zone, that means building up courage and being brave and doing it. And so I wanted to start this hashtag in the tarot community. And even though mine was related to my, tarot, and, in keeping with the theme of my YouTube, yours does not have to be related to tarot or spirituality or, metaphysical stuff. It doesn't have to be along those lines at all. But I'd love to see some people step up, step out, be vulnerable, even if it's in the tiniest of ways. And I'd love to hear people's responses to this. So I hope you join in this hashtag that I've created, because I think it's a beautiful one for all of our inner spiritual growth, and something that we can all deeply learn from. So gonna leave it at that. Hope everyone has a beautiful morning, day, night, wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you all soon. Bye, guys.